Hey everyone, welcome to the Texans Fan Battle Podcast. I'm your host tonight, Matthew Briggs. Our original host, Crenshaw, is being a diva, so he is going to be a little late. But always with me, I got my other A1, Mr. Bo Diggity. What's up, bud? You're on mute again there, guy.
Hey, yo, what's good, everybody? My bad. What's good? What's good? Long week, long
No,
week.
bro. Hey guys, we got a special guest in the building. We got Mr. Joe George from 975 ESPN. You see him on the Killer B show. What's going on, Joe?
What's up, guys? How you doing? Good. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Hey man, thanks for jumping on. It's always a pleasure. How did you like the season, even though the Texans are out of it?
Man, it was crazy. Like when you guys hit me up to come on the podcast, I was like, they might not even be in the playoffs by the time we do this thing. And then it turned into like a season recap. Like the fact that, this last weekend was their last game of the season was absolutely incredible. They had a great season. Like going in, I thought 7 wins at most. And that was because it's just like they're a young team. Rookie quarterback, rookie head coach, rookie OC. Like they're going to struggle. But then, like C.J. Stroud's he's a superstar, and it's just this season was absolutely incredible, man. It was awesome to watch, and it was a fun one for sure.
Yeah, if you told me that the Texans would be knocked out of the playoffs from Lamar Jackson in the divisional round, I would say that was not on my bingo card. So I would have been out. I agree with you. I thought 7 wins. The floor, and the ceiling, maybe 9, 8 wins. But man, I would have to say probably after the Tampa Bay game, I was like, oh, this is a playoff team. Like CJ Stroud's cooking, the defense is starting to click. Bobby and D'Amico, they're getting the play calling down. Like man, and then you have like some goose eggs like the Jets game, and of course without CJ Stroud, the Browns game, but. Man, it was so exciting. Like I tell these guys, this season was probably the most excited I've been as a fan.
Yeah,
dude, it's been so great. So
yeah, and there's just so much to be excited for. I mean, think about they won 11 games last 3 years combined. They won 11 games this year. Like it's just like you have a franchise quarterback who you can believe in. After everything that happened with Deshaun, it just seems like. You got a young kid who's got his head on right, and everything about him is perfect. The way he plays football, the way he talks about his life and everything. Like CJ Stroud is just everything you want in a quarterback. Like there's been so many reasons. Even at the beginning of the season, like Will Anderson, him too. The sack numbers aren't there, and then all of a sudden it just a switch just flips, and he just starts getting after the quarterback. Like this season was awesome. It was a wild ride. To think back to the Panthers game and you lost to that awful football team, the worst team in the NFL, and then to lose in the playoffs to Lamar, it's just it was a crazy run this year. This is the best season for fans I'd imagine since at least 2019. But in the totality of the Texans' history, this year and 2019 have got to be up there for sure.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. When we kind of got spanked by the Colts, I was like, "Oh man, it's gonna be a long season, bro." Like, oh man. And then we go to Jacksonville, and CJ Stroud's like, "Let me cook." They let CJ cook, and I was like, "This is the team that I thought could be Bo, what was your expectation?"
I've been saying all year, my floor was 7-10. And they exceeded that expectation. My ceiling was 10-7, so I was actually right on the 10-7 part. But that's to me, I feel like that was more so my fan biasm too, as well. Like that was I really want the team to do well. I want D'Amico to do well. We had a whole bunch of different quarterbacks. Coaches come in, carousel coaches, and so I wanted the team to actually gel, and they did that. So to see them go from 3-13-1 and go to 10-7, win the division. Because who thought we would have won a division? I didn't think that. I thought the Jaguars would still win the division somehow. But for us to come back and win the division and then win a wild card game, get a game at home on a playoff roll, and just enjoy that playoff atmosphere, because it was amazing. It was amazing. So yeah, like everyone's been saying, it's been a great story, and I'm proud of them guys, man. They were young, they were hungry, and they showed that the Texans aren't a joke. They're going to be here for a while.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk more about the Texans and the recap and whatnot. But let's jump into some NFL news. Let's jump off with some coaching hiring. Matter of fact, before we came on here, it just announced that Jim Harbaugh to the Chargers. Joe, I'll start with you. Are you surprised with the Harbaugh hiring? And who is the most surprising so far? I know we got a couple more to go, but who you got so far?
Man, I mean, for me, it's like the Harbaugh hire makes a ton of sense. We were talking before we went on the air. Like, I grew up in Chicago, a Bears fan originally. And I still am, but like, I kind of always thought Harbaugh, if he was going to make the jump from college to the NFL, it'd be Chicago or Indianapolis. But like, he goes back to the Chargers, where he played football too, like where he was a quarterback, and like it still is the most surprising to me, almost more from like the other side of it. Like, we have 4 teams in the college football playoff. 3 of them lost their head coach this year. Like, it's crazy that like Saban, the Washington coach, DeBoer, and then now Harbaugh, who won the title, obviously, like, are all gone. Like, I thought Harbaugh might stick it out at this point and just like roll at Michigan, but to me, like, he's definitely the most surprising. Like the other, like Antonio Pierce made so much sense, especially that weird stuff about Max Crosby. Like, Max Crosby was going to demand a trade if they didn't hire Antonio Pierce. So like, Harbaugh to me like was the most surprising. I thought he was just going to stay in college, but for Justin Herbert, like, I love it. It's great.
Yeah, that Max Crosby whole situation, and then now him sitting out the Pro Bowl. Of course, we'll get to that more. That's just wild. But hey, I mean, if he wants his guy, maybe Pierce is the somewhat D'Amico Ryans, where all the players back him. He's great with the players, so maybe it's a good hire. Bo, what do you thought?
Oh yeah, I think it's a good choice. It's kind of it kind of sucks on the other end because you want to see Jim Harbaugh get an NFL job. He's a great coach. He has great success in the past, but at the same time, that's AFC. Right. Like we were okay with the Chargers being just okay, but now you're bringing in a mind like him, and you got a young quarterback, and I'm sure they're going to make some changes in the front off. I mean, in the scheme of things with defense and offense, so they could be contenders again, and we don't really need that. We got enough contenders in AFC, so it's gonna be interesting to see how he does with what he does with Justin Herbert, and if he can get the same kind of magic that he got out of Kaepernick them years. So I'm curious to see what happens, especially in that division with the Broncos, Chiefs, and Raiders. That's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a fight.
No, don't get me wrong. I think Kaepernick was a good quarterback when he was in the league, especially those 2 to 3 years. But is he really like Justin Herbert level? I think this is the first time in his whole coaching career he has a quarterback like that. Yeah. So and now you get him a GM that's not Trent Baalke and fight every move that he tries to do. Like, man, it might be magic. Like you said, I'm kind of upset about it
because I feel like when he went to the 49ers, he probably didn't have all the cash that he has now. I feel like now he's going to pick his own GM. He's going to pick his coaches. He's going to pick I'm sure because he could have probably been already signed a contract with the Chargers, but I bet he wanted to get all that writing, what he wanted to do, how he wanted to do it to make sure that you can't say nothing in these 5 years. It's going to go my way or the highway. So shout out to him for that.
For sure. All right. Well, let's jump in a little more. And again, a game in the playoffs, Jason Kelce went to Buffalo to watch his brother kick some Bills' ass. Before the game, he got drunk. He got sauced with the Bills Mafia, and then in the suite, jumped out the window, taking the shirt off, picking up fans. Again, I'll start with you, Joe. What was your take on this? And are you a Jason Kelce fan?
Man, I don't know how you don't love that guy. Like, he's so fun. It is just like I was actually watching earlier. They put out a clip from their podcast, like him and Travis talking about it and how Jason's wife was trying to tell him like not to do what he did in the game. Like, it was just so funny. Like he's just such a genuine like just dude. I mean, like it was so funny to watch him do that. Like the Chiefs are literally going to ruin the Bills' lives for like the 5th year in a row. and he's out there in the stands drinking with their fans. He's taking shots out of bowling balls before the game. Like, I love this guy. Like, if I die and can be reincarnated, I want to be just like Jason Kelce. Like, that's what I've realized. Like, Jason Kelce, like, lives the best life. So it was awesome. It was so much fun.
Bo, now, if you are a TV network and you're coming up with TV shows idea, are you reaching out to the Kelce's and say, hey, let's
you got to. You got right. to. I feel like in the next, maybe, like, once it retires, it's going to be a Kelce show. Right. It's going to be a Kelce show. Like they love the mom. I mean, the dad, he stays in the background, but they love the dad too. But it's going to be a Kelce show. I mean, they got the podcast. Podcast is going crazy with the what is the Heights? Is that what it's called? I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
Heights, something like that. Yeah. So amazing clips from that show. Of course, their brother, so chemistry is off the charts. So yeah, it's going to be. It's kind of like, I feel like they got to be the new favorite brother pairing since the Mannings, right? In my opinion, I feel like they are slowly about to jump over the Mannings of lovable brothers. So they're very down to earth. I mean, it's nice to see Jason Kelce because with like years before, no one knew Kelce had this kind of personality. Jason. Everybody knew Travis was he go all out and he all in the business and he do what he's doing, but no one saw Jason doing that. So it's nice to see Jason actually getting his personality shown as well. So they're amazing. You can't hate them.
Yeah, and the way he loves the fans, right? Like it's genuine. Like it's not fake like you see some players. I mean, he won Sexiest Man Alive. Like, dude, the dude looks like me and you guys. Like to pull that off, bro. Like,
shout out to the old lineman Bills, man. Shout out to the old lineman Bills.
Right. That bring the dad bod back, bro. Like, he's doing us big boys a favor, So I like, and not just him, but like you said, his mom's on there. It's hilarious. When his wife is on there, like it's good. Hope like it's something I can let my kids watch and not be worried. Like it's not like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Like I think it's something that we need, especially as NFL fans, because a lot of people I've seen are excited about this whole Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce because a lot of people's daughters are now wanting to watch football because they want to know what it's all about. And hey, if that's what it takes to get new fans, like if that's what it takes to get my 6-year-old to sit on the couch and watch football with me, let's have it. I'm all for it. So shout out to you, Jason Kelce. Thank you again. Real quick for our diva, Crenshaw had something to say. KC to the Bills is what Golden State was to the Rockets. Yeah, man, it's
terrible. Yeah,
kryptonite. Speaking of that, the playoff picture. We'll jump more into the Texans and Ravens game, but man, I thought this was some good football this weekend. Bo, I'll start with you, man. What game did you like the most, and who you got going to the Super Bowl?
I enjoyed the Buccaneers Lions game. That was a good game. They battled to the end. It was it's just nice to see the Lions win, man. I know I'm a Texans fan and everything, but to see their years in the NFL and them being a butt of a joke for many, many years, not winning the game and won the season, and everybody just down on that line. So it was nice to see the Lions playoff game at home. They won a division game, and so all the fans are just ready. You can tell the Lions fans won this Super Bowl badder than anything ever. So it was a good game, and I mean I can't pick the Texans versus Ravens because that was the first half was nice, but the second half was a horror show.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the Lions and the Buccaneers. That was probably my favorite game.
Okay. And who got going to the Super Bowl again?
Going to Super Bowl. I got the Lions and the Ravens. Actually, I do not want to see Kansas City again. As much as I love Jason Kelce, I don't want to see Travis Kelce host up another Super Bowl trophy. I just can't. I can't deal with that right now. I just my heart cannot deal with Pat Mahomes, Andy Reid just holding up that Lombardi trophy. I just can't deal with it.
Having some Patriots flashbacks, huh?
Yeah.
Joe, same question, man. What was the most exciting, and who you got in the Super Bowl?
I mean, I think it's hard to ignore. Like Kansas City Buffalo was awesome. Like that game, like two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. It was super fun. I mean, both those teams they played really great. Honestly, all 3 games besides the Texans games were really good this weekend. Like the Texans game was like you said, man, Bo. Like it was the first half was awesome. The second half was just a disaster. But the rest of the weekend was sick. Like it was a great wild card weekend. Like I think all 3 other games were decided within a touchdown. So, but like it's Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Like you can't ask for much more. For the Super Bowl, that's a good question. I'm gonna go. I have a rule in life, okay, guys. I didn't bet against LeBron James until after he started losing in the finals or in the conference championship game. I didn't bet against Tom Brady. I'm not going to bet against Patrick Mahomes. So I'm gonna go Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. But I'm gonna go Lions, man. I'm gonna go Lions over 49ers. Like, dude, Jared Goff has got something cooking this year. Like,
yes, he does. Yeah, they got.
I don't know. Yeah, like I love Dan Campbell. It is that guy is so much fun to watch. The
biting kneecaps, man. He's biting kneecaps.
Biting kneecaps, man. Like, and maybe it's something about like D'Amico now, but like I'm loving all these linebackers coaching. You know, him, Dan, like Antonio Pierce, D'Amico, Dan Campbell. Like, I love this like linebacker takeover. So I'm going Lions Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, I need the Lions to win because that'll give me hope that the Texans gonna win one. Yeah, sooner or later, man. Because they these teams. I'm tired of seeing the Chiefs win. So give somebody else a chance, man. Somebody else a chance to win the trophy, man.
I gotta go with the Packers and 49ers. Jordan Love, man, he's been on fire this playoffs and the last end of the season. The dude, like I've been saying, the Packer organization must have made a deal with the devil because it's ridiculous that 3 generational quarterbacks in a row, like you go from Favre to Rodgers now to Jordan Love, it's just stupid. I hate it, but I also
you're telling me, man.
Yeah, right. You used to be a Bears fan.
You're telling me, man.
Right?
Like,
you're a Bears fan.
It makes me sick to my stomach that like they got another quarterback. I can't get one.
Right.
I can't get one. They got
That's
3.
How I felt. That's how I felt with Texas fans for like going straight from dealing with Peyton Manning all those years. Like, okay, we got a break. And you tell me for the draft Andrew Luck, it's gonna be like
you got a 1-year break while he had a broken neck. Like that's all you got.
For real. But the Super Bowl, like, I want anybody but I want the Chiefs and Lions because I don't want the Ravens and the Niners because you got all these people. Oh, it's scripted. Oh, look, the colors is purple and red, so it's gonna be the Ravens and Niners. Like, bro. Put the paint down. Get your tinfoil hat off. Like it's not that serious. So give me look, Bo. I live in Kansas City, so I feel your pain. I hate it. Like they're like Cowboys fans up here, bro. Like it's crazy. This preseason, you have fans saying that Patrick Mahomes was going to have a bad year because the backups had a better QBR rating than he did during the preseason. Like,
oh, that's great,
bro. Like, I love me some CJ Stroud, but if the Chiefs say, "Hey, do you want Patrick Mahomes?" I'm like, "How much do you want? And when can we get him, bro?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, Patrick Mahomes is.
But see, this is my thing, man. Like, when they had Tyreek Hill and Kelsey, I was like, okay, there's a juggernaut. You can't do anything about that. You can't do anything about a great tight end and a fast receiver doesn't go behind your defense like a blink of an eye. But once they let go of Tyreek Hill, I said, okay, there's a chance. He's going to be mediocre. And then he won Super Bowl. I'm like, all right, so maybe Tyreek Hill was MVP. And then this year, I say he has no receivers. He don't have a top 5 receiver, a top 10 receiver. He got a bunch of threes. And he still gets to the AFC Championship. So it's like it's like Joe said, you can't bet against him because the car he gonna always have a loaded deck. He gonna always have like the king, all the spades. He don't have all the spades. You can't do nothing about it.
It's like Tom Brady. You can't bet against him.
Yeah, especially Andy Reid. You can't do nothing about that. And the defense. See, that was the thing before when he won those early ones. Defense wasn't that good, so he was like, okay,
if he had to drop 30 points a game, right.
Right. And now the defense is amazing. So it's like, bro, what can you do, man? What can you do, man?
And it's crazy. It's like they just like he's like flipped the script of Brady.
Yeah.
Like when Brady won his first like two Super Bowls, like he didn't do much. Like he was
game manager.
Yes, like it was like Rodney Harrison, all those guys like dominated, and then Tom figured it out later, and like they were sick, but like This is the opposite. It's like their defense is so good, and then like
in the run
Pat
game.
just dude, I love Pacheco. I love Isaac Pacheco.
Yeah,
he's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, it's not like Patrick's not, making the plays. He's getting the ball to receivers, balls, but they're just dropping them, bro. Like, I was like, dude, if I was Pat Mahomes, I'd be one pissed off dude right now because, like, how many game-winning touchdowns did he have, and they just drop it or get called back stupid penalties? Like, bro, you're costing me money, bro. Like,
and yet they still in the AFC Championship.
It's still in the AFC Championship.
That's me, man.
Yeah. He's like LeBron, man. He's out there proving the reason. I'm telling you, man. All right. Well, fellas, let's jump into some Texan news. Today, Will Anderson, CJ Stroud was named PFWA Rookie of the Year. Joe, you're our guest. Are you shocked?
No. It's like I'm curious what the rest of it looks like. I know there's a couple other Rookie Year awards, but like the one they'll do at the NFL Honors. But like, I get the argument for Jalen Carter, but like when you look at the numbers, Will Anderson had a better year. Honestly, like it's not being biased. Like he was just a more impactful player. And honestly, I think like you got to ding Jalen Carter for like how bad that defense was. I know it's not his fault, but like that defense fell apart. He was supposed to be like the added piece of the best defense in the NFL. They're making DC changes. Like I'm not surprised. Like frankly, like I think the Texans should win all 4 awards. Like they should win Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, and I think Nick Caserio should get Executive of the Year. Like it's either him or Brad Holmes from Detroit who should win that one. That one's tight to me, but like to me, like I'm not surprised. Like it's super well deserving, and like what's crazy about it though too is like if CJ didn't win it, I wouldn't be stunned. I know he's going to, but part of this is like the respect I have for like Puka Nacua. That guy's a monster for the Rams, and like CJ Stroud, like his year was just still so much better. So I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, I mean, he might get like maybe 2 or 3 votes for the MVP.
Yeah.
But just to get his name mentioned like mid of the season that he was probably going to be an MVP candidate is crazy. Like you never hear that at all, And for him to come out to do that after, like we've been saying, 3 years of Davis Mills and what Deshaun did to us, it's refreshing. So, Bo, what's your thoughts on it, Bob?
Yeah. You have to give it to CJ. I believe CJ. The NFL just, I guess, I don't want to say promotes, but they push quarterbacks when they're going to do a receiver, regardless of the award. I mean, like you said, Puka Nacua had a great year. You can't take no away from that because he had an amazing year. He was off the charts. I wish they would like do like a receiver award for him or something, a rookie receiver award for him or something. But it's going to CJ now with the whole Jalen Carter and Will Anderson. It's like Joe said, beginning of the season, Jalen Carter was all the rage. Everyone talked about Jalen Carter this. Will Anderson didn't really get the spotlight until toward the end of the season. And I felt like that recency bias is going to help him. It's going to help Will Anderson get the votes to get the Defensive Rookie of the Year. And like Joe said, the Eagles just collapsed. Like if Carter was still doing what he was doing beginning of the year, dominating, but he really disappeared. No one really talked about him toward like November, December, January. No one said nothing about Jalen Carter. I didn't hear that much about Jalen Carter. And plus, he already went to a stacked defensive line as it was. So I don't see how he gets to the award of Will Anderson Jr. Will Anderson Jr. came in. It was a little slow because I feel like he was learning his way and wasn't really, I don't say not going full potential, but he was just trying to figure out what works for him and what doesn't. So toward the end of the season, you saw his moves, finesse moves, spin moves, chop moves. He started working more and he started getting home to the quarterback. So I would say give it to Will Anderson Jr. and CJ Stroud. Why not? Because the Jets had Gary Wilson and Sauce Gardner that one year. Might as well give it to the Texans. Shoot, at this point.
Yeah, and just because of CJ, like I know that this is not the reason why they're giving to him, but CJ Stroud's character is so humbling and it's fun to watch. Like I don't feel bad for Tyler Goodson because we went to the playoffs, but when Tyler Goodson dropped that ball, he started crying, man. Like he's a human just like us. Like he's emotional, and him, being religious. I know that's not some people's cup of tea, but it's a fresh breath air instead of, me, or whatnot. So for somebody genuine as CJ Stroud, it's refreshing. And I agree with you, Bo. Like, Jalen Carter fell off, and Will Anderson, he was there the whole season, and he got better while the season went on. And I don't think the defense catches fire without Will Anderson, especially to run. I don't think we're a top 3 run defense without Will Anderson. And, everybody wants to say J.J. Watt was a sack monster, which he was. But a lot of people forget how great J.J. Watt's run defend game was. And I think that's what we're going to see in Will Anderson. Hopefully he becomes as dominant as J.J. Watt. I would love that. I would love to see some 20-sack season. But just to have an overall great game, yeah, let's give it to him. Plus, again, 3 years, man. It's been rough on us. Give us something to be proud of, man. Like, we're tired of it, man. And speaking of Will Anderson, I said it earlier, Max Crosby is sitting out of the Pro Bowl. So Will Anderson is now a Pro Bowl starter.
Another one.
George, I'll start with you. Are you pumped about it, or is it – yeah?
Man, honestly, like, I wish I could be. You know what? Like, if they're going to tell me Will Anderson's going to play, like, tight end in the flag football game, like, I'm in. Like, Will Anderson playing dodgeball, like, just please don't get hurt. Like, that's all I ask. Like, please don't. Like, I wish the Pro Bowl mattered, but, like, it's just something that, like, all the big sports, like, they struggle with. Like, they just can't get the game to matter. It's a cool accomplishment. Like, honestly, the Pro Bowl I was good with the Pro Bowl until last year. They ruined it for me. No disrespect, because he's a good backup quarterback, but he's a backup. When Tyler Huntley made the Pro Bowl last year, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out. Like, it means nothing. Like, it's cool. Like, I know there's contract incentives, but, like, it's good for Will Anderson, like, to get that recognition for sure. But, like, it doesn't mean to me, like, what it does now to what it used to. And, like, I mean, we're all not that old. Like, I can tell. Like, I don't know how old you guys are, but, like, I'm 31. Like, the Pro Bowl, like, mattered to me when I was growing up. And, like, it's nothing now. So, like, I mean, they're not even playing a game. I'm excited for him. I think he's going to be a beast at dodgeball, though, for sure.
Yeah, if I see that big monster of a man coming at me, I'm like, just here you go, man, free shot.
Yeah, for sure.
Just don't kill me, bro.
Yeah, don't hit me in the dome, and, like, we're okay.
Yeah, right. Moneymaker, bro. Can't hit. But what you thought?
Yeah, I agree with Joe. It's not like it was back in the day. It was after Super Bowl, so it felt more like it meant more because to us the football was over with. So we still got the Pro Bowl. We got one more game, and they're going to be in pass, and they're going to actually hit each other. So I get it. It's a safety issue, I understand. So they made it more, I guess, appealing. So the little mini games, and it's, I guess, a little cool camaraderie. But yeah, I'm happy for him because, like you said, it might not mean nothing to us, but I guess it's going to be something with his contract time when he can say I was a Pro Bowler my rookie year. Maybe it helps him with endorsements. Maybe it helps him with sponsorship. So it's going to help him in the long run. But as far as like just straight for the NFL as just this achievement is amazing. I don't feel like it don't hold the same weight as it did back in the day, but it's a great accomplishment because we can say we got more than one Pro Bowler on the Texans right now. but it's like Joe said, it was years where Clowney was a Pro Bowl, and I was like, do not get hurt at the Pro Bowl, please. Yeah. Just do whatever you do, just don't get hurt, man. Like just go out there, have fun, run around, but please don't get hurt. Please don't get hurt. And
who was it? Who was it? Carson Palmer? When Carson Palmer got hurt, I was like, I'm good. I'm good with my players getting.
Like, don't get hurt, man. Just go relax and just be chilling. Talk to the camera, talk to the fans, all that good stuff. But just be safe, man.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, guys. Well, let's jump into the depressing part of the show. We had a recap Sunday, so a lot of the fans got to see what we thought of the game. So, Joe, let me get your recap of this disappointing loss, and what do you think we should have done different?
Oh man, where do you start? It's
right.
Like first, like the offense just couldn't get going. Like that's where this game to me, like, and I know we'll talk about the offseason. Like this is like really like shows like where you miss Tank. You know, it's like just that other receiver to like make things easier for CJ. They were just missing it. And like the offensive line, as good as they were this year, like it was tough. And the hardest part about this game is that you can't fix Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith. Like they're probably two of the best inside linebackers like in the NFL, and like they're on the same team, flying around the ball. Kyle Hamilton, like they're just monsters. Like the biggest thing I think, like if you're gonna look back, is like the first half of the game and in week 1, like they did a really good job containing Lamar Jackson. And then I don't know if it's when Christian Harris got hurt, but like something changed in the second half where like he was cooking and getting 20 yards, 15 yards on the run all the time. And like, and your offense just wasn't getting anything going. So your defense got gassed. And it's just, it kind of felt like everything that went wrong without turning the ball over went wrong. And like, and so I guess the biggest thing too, like I haven't mentioned yet, I'll point to, we were doing a watch along on 97.5's Twitch. And we were playing a game at one point of like, who's the penalty on? Like it was just like, it was like which offensive lineman is jumping off sides this time? Because it was, the first one was easy. It was Laramie, like always. But then like after that, it was like, who is it on next? Every single offensive lineman besides the center
and then
went off sides.
Yeah,
and on defense too. Like, oh, it's just so many pre-snap penalties. Like that's got to be like number one. On a positive, like that's why I think it's good they played in this game, guys. Like, you know, like you got to play in an environment it's crazy. Like you got George Fant pointing to his ear on camera that he can't hear. Like D'Amico, CJ, this whole team, they learned a lot from that game, I hope, you know, in terms of like dealing with a crazy crowd. So not a lot of positives, honestly, in that one. But it was tough. Steven Sims was great. I love the high step.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's the only positive, right?
The only highlight we got. Yeah.
That's why I told the guys on Sunday. I said, man, this shows you the youth of the team. Like they don't have the experience of a big playoff team, not yet. I mean, we'll get there hopefully, you know. But this can show you that, you know, we weren't ready for the environment, or I guess let's be frank, you know, the talent that we played against the Ravens was just excellent. Like I'm top to bottom. The defense was great. Everybody can say that the Browns was the number one defense. But to me, I think the Baltimore, they had the better defense
for sure,
and it showed. Like Cleveland couldn't stop C.J. Stroud, Baltimore did, and they had a game plan. They got it cooking. Bo, is there anything you want to add to this game?
The only thing I want to say is that I don't know what it is about Houston sports, but they always leave us with like an embarrassing a stat line or something. Like with the Rockets, it was the missed 27 threes in a row. And the Texans, man, of course, you can also go back to the Chiefs where they came back from being down 24-0. But I felt like, I guess it didn't really register to me till Monday when I got those comments like, y'all didn't even score offensive touchdown. I was like, oh my God, we didn't score an offensive touchdown. It was only a special teams touchdown. So, so it's just one of the things, man, where I felt like I wish we at least scored. I wish we would have at least scored one offensive touchdown because they're gonna hold it over our heads forever. Y'all didn't score one touchdown on the Ravens defense, so. It is what it is, man.
And it's just things like we all know it, but we're the youngest franchise. But 0-5 in divisional rounds, man.
Divisional round, we have not won one divisional round game.
But I have a lot of Colts, Jaguars, and Titans fans. They always brag about, we've been to the AFC Championship game. That's cool, man. Like I don't mind not making it to the AFC Championship game because if I go, I want to make sure
I want to win.
Right. I don't want to be third place runner up. Like I want to be numero uno. Like put me in the Super Bowl. Like I don't care about making it there. I want to win there. Yes. So I'm not too upset about not winning the divisional round because like we've been saying, watching CJ Stroud, the future is bright. Like I'm excited. I'm excited for the things to come. I think we got our forever coach. You know, we got the franchise quarterback. It's exciting. It's so exciting that this game was the most viewed game. I think they said like 4 years or 5 years. So, I mean, that's just testament of what this team can be. So, I'm excited. Joe, is there anything you want to add to this game?
No, I mean, like I think you guys kind of hit it there. Like, yeah, like the game sucked, but like it was a great season, and like I still feel like coming away from this game, it's just like, it's so funny, like being like in the participation trophy, like age class. But like, I kind of feel like that way in this moment. Like, it's like you're the second worst team in the NFL. You won in 2022, like you won a playoff game in the 23-24 season. And then, you get dog walked by the Ravens, but like it was a great year. And like, so even though like that game was still so bad, it's like there's still some, like it was 10-10 at halftime. Like, like you're still in that game. Like if CJ Stroud, like, like I know there's that like the double reverse flea flicker thing they were doing or whatever. Like, if CJ Stroud like makes a better throw or George Fant makes a better block, that's a touchdown. And like, and who knows where the game is, at that point. So it sucks. Like that game sucked. There's really no other way to say it. But like, it's still like the future is so bright. Like it's all right.
And like you said, man, if we had a Tank Dell, or another weapon, or even if Dalton
or Schultz could catch
the ball, I'd say
a glimpse of a running game,
right? Like
half of a running game,
not even a running game if the blocking can be there, bro. Like Singletary can make something out of nothing, but you got to give him time to do that, and they didn't give him nothing. And the offensive line didn't give up no sacks, but 13 hurries? Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah, CJ was fighting for his life the whole game, man.
Yeah, I don't think he was comfortable with not one point dropping back. Like every time I saw him drop back, he running to the right. I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
And to me, it was like that Tampa Bay versus Kansas City game.
Oh, yeah.
Where in the Super Bowl where Pat Mahomes was running a mile around and making crazy throws. And they're just dropping. Like CJ was making like some crazy sidearm passes by getting hit, and Dalton Schultz drops it. Robert Woods drops it. It's like, bro, come on, man, do this guy some favor, and please, you gotta protect him. Like I don't want him getting hurt and to be a Robert Griffin III situation, which I don't think it will, but still, no CJ is bad, so we got to protect him. Anything else before we move on?
I'm good.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's talk about the season recap and off-season preview. Joe, we kind of talked a little bit, but what if you had to describe this season, the recap of it? What is it?
Man, it's a home run. Like your quarterback has the greatest rookie season I think in NFL history. Like his numbers are so comparable to Andrew Luck, which has been like the gold standard since he entered the NFL. But what's so different is I think Andrew Luck threw 18 interceptions his rookie year. Stroud threw 5. And so it's like the yardage is like 200 off. The touchdowns are exactly the same. It's like you're a franchise quarterback. You have a great head coach. I think you're going to keep your offensive coordinator for another year. You're going to lose your quarterback coach, I think. But like this season, it's special because you found like you have a franchise pass rusher, a franchise quarterback. You found 2 superstar wide receivers, frankly. Like Nico Collins elevated his game into a way like I didn't think was possible, which like it's just like a Davis Mills is like, sorry, dude, like you stink. But and then like you have Tank Dell, like who was incredible throughout the year, and Nick Caserio just like he works his magic all year long. Like whether it's like Singletary or George Fant or like their 4th and 5th centers and guards they were using, like Derek Barnett, like they found a way to like find talent at a cheap price. Their young talent exceeded crazy expectations. So this season, like if you're gonna go letter grade, it's an A+. Like there's nothing. Oh, okay. I don't think there's anything really negative to say. Honestly, like there's pockets of time where like CJ, like he got sacked a lot, 11 times I think in the first 2 games, and then around the concussion he got sacked a lot too. But like this team, like with everything they dealt with the injuries and being so young, like you can't ask for a single thing to go better besides maybe the Carolina loss.
Yeah.
Okay. And you also say cutting Desmond King and bringing him back and he's playing out of his freaking mind.
That's funny.
dude. But what's your recap on it?
Yeah. I agree with Joe. A+. I feel like you have to grade this season with beginning to say no expectations. You have to start with saying no one had divisional round expectations this year. If we're going to be honest, if you talk to, I guess, the media, analysts, sports analysts, fans, no one saw the Texans 10-7 in the divisional round against the Ravens. So you have to give them A+ just from that end, and you grade them on the curve with, like you said, a head coach is a rookie. Your offensive coordinator is basically a rookie offensive coordinator. You got a rookie quarterback. You got a rookie, I guess, your number 2 receiver, Tank Dell. You lose him, but he was a rookie. Your offensive line, like Joe said, you're makeshifting offensive line all year. You never had a full 5 offensive linemen. You never had the same 5 throughout the whole year. So you're over there mixing up pieces around, and you're picking up Adrian Amos, Kareem Jackson. You're picking up King back, and you're cutting people. So it was just amazing to see, like, the talent of this team. And as fans, we have to look at it as like they're going in the right direction. It's been years where you saw the stock going down. So you finally see the green arrow going back up. You see, we're going to buy some of that Texas stock now. It's rising up again. It's rising. So yeah, everybody want to buy it right now while it's starting to rise up. So you see the fun. You it's exciting now. Like, it's been years where you're like, oh, another season come. I'm excited for football, but I'm not really excited to see them play. You know what I mean? So everyone's waiting for August. I know I'm waiting for August. If I had a time machine, I'm going straight to August. I want to know what we did in the draft. I'm ready to see Texas football again. So yeah, I'm giving them an A+, man. And I don't want to be that spoiled fan that say we got to win a division every year, but you can't go backwards. You cannot go backwards. This cannot be less than a 7-win season for 2024. I do not want to see no 6-11, no 5-12. I don't want to see that. Keep going. New York Giants. If you can go to this 10-7 again, go 10-7. But don't go 8-9, 7-10. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, we do not want no New York Giants type of season.
Exactly.
We want to be on the rise. Yeah, I agree with you, Bo. Like, if I could be the opposite of a bear and hibernate through summer and just put me in August, like, bro, I would do it. Yeah, like, I would sleep. Like, I mean, I love baseball. Like, that's my number one true love. But this team has got me so pumped. I'm like, bro, like, come on, man, hurry up. Time's a wasted. We got some good football to watch. Like, yeah, you gotta give it A+, right? Like, anybody who says otherwise just didn't watch the team or is a hater. CJ Stroud played out of his mind. Will Anderson came on fire when he needed to come. And the resurgence of Jonathan Gennard is refreshing. And then not a lot of people, because you got Gennard and Anderson on the other side, a lot of people sleeping on Rankins. Rankins had a pretty solid career, or not career, but season. And then you got my boy Harris County coming out here and looking like Fred Warner, bro. Like, it's just exciting. You got people, like Joe said, you got people elevating their game on all sides of the ball, and it's exciting to see. So you got to give A+. You got to be optimistic for next season, especially with $68 million or something like that in cap space. Yep. You still got some good draft picks. Like, bro, it's time to build. It's not time to sit around. It's time to, we're win now mode. Like, it's time. Throw the book at it. Whatever we need to do to win, let's get it. All right.
Yeah. 2 years ago, free agents was see 713 be like, that's the Texans. Don't pick that up. But I guarantee you, February and March, they said 713 number. They pick it. They breaking that phone after that phone. Hello, y'all got
CJ Stroud?
They coming now. They will
big
be.
time.
I promise you that.
Yeah, man. And it's like, and it's funny, like, we were going over all those players. Like, the one guy none of us has mentioned yet, or like, who has been like, it was probably the best story, because I remember week 1 going on 97.5 and being like, should Nick Caserio be on the hot seat because Derek Stingley Jr. doesn't play football? And then this dude came back like a monster lockdown corner. Like, it's just another player that like when he's on the field, like, you saw everything we wanted to see out of him from last year. He was incredible too. Like, it's hard to be negative at all about this team besides that one game.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
And like you keep saying, you get another year of D'Amico being a better coach. Like the scheme is going to fix it.
Yep.
Bobby and Gerard probably most likely going to leave, but hopefully you got somebody in place to take over their spot, and this offense still shining in that system. Go get a Clint Kubiak. Go get somebody who's familiar with this offense. Hell, bring back Gary. Like, hey man, I know you're enjoying sipping some beers there in the pool, but like, bro, get your ass back in Houston. Like, we got a Super Bowl to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
It's exciting to be a fan. And let's keep it going. We got 36 impending free agents. Joe, I'll start with you. Who are some of the guys we should bring back?
Oh man, I mean, that's where it's like, I know they have a lot of cap space, but like it's not going to go as far as people want it to go. To me, like as much as I liked him this year, I'm gonna start with like I'm a no on Grenard. I think he's going to cost 15 to like I think he's going to cost like 15 to 20 million, and like if you have $59 million in cap space, like that's a lot of money you're going to lose in that one player. And like we have like Derek Barnett, who got 3.5 sacks, I think it was, like since he became a Texan. I think you can draft someone at 23. So like to me, like that's where the first guy where I say no to. My automatic yes is Blake Cashman. He's number one on my list. Like that's a player I fell in love with this year. I'm whether it's King or Nelson, I think it's important to bring back one of the two. Like I'm not picky about either one, but like I think having to replace two corners in one offseason is a tall task. So like I feel like you got to bring back at least one of them. And then like I'm kind of a mixed bag on Schultz. Like I know he's the big name. Like he has the dropsies a little bit. I'm curious what his market's going to look like. Like if you can get him a reasonable deal, like I'm all for bringing Schultz back. But like to me, like Blake Cashman, I can't remember if it's Rankins or Collins is a free agent. One of the two is bring them back because I think those are both good players. You want to have both those guys on this team next year, and then either Nelson or King for sure.
All right, Bo, what about you? What you got?
Yeah, I agree with Joe about the whole Grenard. Injuries, man. I just, your best availability is availability. Your best ability is availability. So if you can't stay healthy, what's the point of me giving you all this money just to keep you here? You know what I mean? Like I feel like yes, it's nice to have two bookends to go get the quarterback. That's cool and everything. But if you can find the edge or trade for one, get one in the draft, I say go with that one. Go with some fresh legs and see what you can do. Pair him up with Will Anderson Jr. You got two fresh legs on the edges now, and you don't have to pay them no crazy amount of money. I would love to see Nelson come back, but I feel like it's probably gonna be a standstill in the whole negotiation with that because he was even mad beginning of the season before he had a great season like this. Before he had a pick sixes and interception. So I can just imagine what that's gonna be like with Nick Caserio and Steven Nelson. So that might be far-fetched as well. He might go somewhere and leave if he don't get the deal he desires. So yeah, if you do lose Nelson, bring back King. I feel like King fits well in D'Amico's system with blitzing off from the cornerback nickel position. So you need to have him. I love Cash, but toward the end of the season, I guess injuries bit him a little bit, so he really couldn't keep up with tight end like he did in the early of the season. But he's a hell of a player. He showed that this year that he's worth some money as well. So it's just hard when it's a whole bunch of 1 year deal people on your team and they all just go crazy at the exact same time, especially with this defense. Yeah. So my vote is let Grenard walk, sign back Nelson. If Cash walk is fine, because I feel like we got Toa, Harris.
I like him too.
Perriman. So I feel like they can work with that. I don't know. Is Perriman a 1 year deal?
I think he is too. Like I think
yeah. I wouldn't be. I mean, of course, it's gonna hurt to let Cash go, but if it's not possible, then I think we'll be okay. But is Singletary a 1 year deal?
Yes.
Oh yeah, he is.
Ooh, I need to do offense.
So like offense is like Schultz, Noah Brown.
Yeah, offense. Yeah, Schultz. Let Schultz walk.
Yeah, I'm pretty okay.
Get a rookie tight end in here. You probably get more out of rookie tight end than Schultz.
Like Crenshaw said, go get Noah Fant. That dude secretly balled there in Seattle.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is super talented and like has been
very
wasted
underrated.
in 2 stops.
Yes.
But there's one guy we haven't mentioned yet.
Who?
Kaimi Fairbairn.
Oh, you bring him back.
You gotta bring it back. Even if it's the franchise tag, I bring it back Kaimi Fairbairn. Like we saw the Patriots do it. Like I will franchise tag my kicker. Like he has to come back.
Bro, I'm doing like I do in Madden. Look, I give you 7 years for $2 million, bro, a year. Like after experiencing Matt Amendola, I'm doing whatever I can to bring back and Johnston.
You gotta keep Kaimi.
Yeah. And Johnston, like you gotta keep those. You gotta keep the.
I think they're both free agents. Yeah,
you gotta keep Johnston too because he's a hell of a punter.
The 3 main guys on the special teams: John Weeks, Johnston, and Fairbairn, are all free agents, and you bring them all back. Like
I think I agree. You're right.
And I agree with you. You gotta bring Singletary back, just because he knows the scheme. And if you go get, I know everybody wants Josh Jacobs or Saquon Barkley. I just don't think the cap is big enough for getting those guys. If you want to keep getting other pieces,
and I don't know why you want an old running back. Well, I don't say old, but I don't know why you want a running back that's been being
shelf life is right.
Like, go get a rookie,
right?
Go get a rookie,
and that's another reason why you keep Singletary, right? To help that rookie grow. So that's I say you bring Singletary. I agree. I kind of agree with you guys. If the Cashman is the right price, you bring him back. If not, same thing. Like I would entertain Gennard, like, hey, all right, man, look,
for sure.
You've been here 3 years. You only played amount of games. Like, come on, man, help us, help you. Like, even if it's for a 1 year deal, like Casario is notorious about like 1 year, $8 million or 12. I know it's not going to happen. $12 million, like. Do it, what's it going?
But not even so much about the Grenard deal. I need Nick Casario to do is politely invite Larry Tunsil and Titus Howard to his office and say, "Hey, man, I need some of that money back.
Big time. Like
I need that money back. I don't care what we got to do. We got to slice it up, put some on the back end, give you a bonus. I need some of that money back.
As many as false starts you took this year. We're going to take $1 million off.
You got to, man. You got to knock out.
Bro, he'd have no money left if you did that. Look, we see the Saints do that all the time. Like they have no cap space. Then it's all like
the Rams
work all these deals and like make them signing bonuses. But Titus, Shaq, and Tunsil all should be given money back. Honestly,
I agree.
Yeah, and you're right. Like the Rams, they do it. The Buccaneers, like all these teams that have made success into the playoffs. They do their cap hell, but somehow if
Tunsil will put half the effort he put in pass blocking and run blocking, it'll be a scare offensive line.
Oh, most definitely. All right, we're about to get to the best part of the show, but before we get there, Joe, what is one draft pick you like us to get and one free agent you like us to get?
All right, draft pick. Honestly, I'm gonna go tight end here. I don't know where we're gonna have to take him because I know Bowers will be gone. But what is it? Sanders, the tight end from Texas. Yeah. Like I think he's a special player. I think like that's one spot. Honestly, him or Jonathan Brooks. Like I know Jonathan Brooks is coming off a torn ACL, but like I think he's a good player too. So like either like the Texas like tight end or running back, I think makes a ton of sense. Wide receiver. I'm gonna give you a caveat here, okay? I'm gonna let out my anger and my frustration as a sometimes Bears fan. If Jalen Johnson and the Bears cannot get a deal done, you pay that guy a boatload of money to come here, and you have the best cornerbacks in the NFL.
You gotta go Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson's got to go at that point.
Never do it, Nelson.
Now, if the Bears,
everybody except Stingley's got to go for John.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, absolutely.
But if the Bears, if they keep Jalen Johnson, the guy I'm most interested in, honestly, I don't think he's going to get a ton of money. I would love Michael Pittman. Like, I love the wide receiver room already, but like the idea of adding like Michael Pittman to Nico Collins and Tank Dell, like it seems impossible to do that. But like he's not going to get T. Higgins money, So like I think he might be gettable if he doesn't get tagged by the Colts. So that would be like probably my 1A and 1B, honestly.
Okay. Bo, same question.
Draft picks. I haven't done my research that well. I'm guessing if we do not bring Dalton Schultz back, we need a tight end. But do you take that in the first round? If Bowers is gone already, probably not. So they'll probably go receiver. I've been seeing Keon Coleman go bounce around, the mock drafts and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But I guess a receiver really doesn't matter. Just give me a kid that's going to be explosive and not be like Robert Woods running in sand and can catch pass, So I'll take a receiver in the draft. And for like a free agent, if there was any way possible, go get Chris Jones. If there's any way possible, if any way possible,
that would be
get Chris Jones. Could you imagine Chris Jones and Will Anderson Jr.
on the same side of the field? Good luck, dude.
Yes. So we need help. Even though like you said, Collins and Rankin, they did great. They held down. It was anchors.
There no Chris Jones
is a game changer. Chris Jones is a game changer.
Yeah, look what he did that defense. I mean,
my God, it was insane.
I gotta say, draft wise, like I think they're gonna be gone, but give me some Kool-Aid McKinstry from Alabama, especially with that Nelson go. Cooper DeJean, I would love to see him there. The white boy from Iowa. I know most white boys can't play cornerback, but
he can. He can ball out
for real, right? And plus you can line him up as a linebacker, right?
He's a good player.
Yeah, like you got. But if those two guys, I think those two guys go in top 15. So give me a guy like Newton from, I think it's Illinois or
Illinois, he's a monster.
A big DT, a big old right in there. What we need. Free agency. The reason why I want this, I think they're going to franchise tag him, but the reason why I want this guy is one, we're sticking it to the Jags, and two, him and Will Anderson on the same opposite side of each other. Give me some Josh Allen, bro. Like,
gosh, Allen.
Man. I wouldn't pay Jonathan Gennard $20 million, but if you give me Josh Allen, I'll give him $20 million.
Hell yeah.
With him and Will Anderson, bro, you're eating. Like it reminds me of the days of Derek Brooks and Simeon Rice. Like either way you go, you're going to get a sack. So,
gotcha.
You got to get that to me. So, anybody else y'all looking to get?
I mean, like, not in like sorry if you guys were going to still talk about this, but like,
go ahead.
AJ Brown, I know like is being tossed around there. Like, I'm not an AJ Brown guy. Like, to me, like, it's too much headache. So is Stephon Diggs.
Diva.
But if you could get him for like, remember like when like the Raiders traded Randy Moss to the Patriots for a 4th round pick? Like, if you could get me like Stephon Diggs or AJ Brown for like a 3rd, like, yeah, of course. But like, I don't think that'll happen.
But see with AJ Brown Diggs, what I've noticed with them, I've learned is like, the beginning of the marriage is amazing. They're loving the quarterback. They're happy. They're enjoying it. Just grin like a chested cat. But toward the end, when the games matter and you're in the hole with a foxhole,
get the ball right.
It's the nightmare. I've seen.
It's
a nightmare on the sideline. And I do not need AJ Brown and CJ Stroud face. I'm about give me the ball like you're doing Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts just ignore him. Let him do his thing.
and CJ would just be like, dude, well, like, I'm the best quarterback. I'm a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Like, I'm going to throw it to the guys that open. And, like, AJ, if you're not open, like, you're not getting the ball. So, like, that's what would be tough.
He's like, I'm going to go pray about it. All right? But, yeah. I want Mike Evans. Like, I know everyone's like, he's too old.
Yeah.
But the dude has not had a 1,000 under 1,000 yards.
Come on back to Houston area.
Yeah, come back home. Like, could you imagine Mike Evans teaching Tank Dell and Nico Collins, hey, look, this is what you need to do.
And 13 available, right? No one's got 13. 13's available.
Right. Like,
no 13 available, Mike Evans, if you didn't know.
And then you got the 713 connection, bro.
Oh
like,
my goodness!
Bring it back.
Oh yeah,
because
Tank was supposed to be 13. That's right.
He's supposed to be 13. He gave it.
It's like God knew. He's like, hey, look, Tank.
Yep, he knew. He's at 2024. Mike Evans coming. 13 got to go away. Go number 3, Tank.
Yeah, I would love Mike Evans.
He whispered to CJ. He's like, hey, CJ, tell Tank to take 3.
Tank number 3.
Next year we'll bring Mike Evans into everything to be graceful.
That'd be nice. That'd be dope.
I would love Mike Evans, like, because like he's gonna be shorter term than like T. Higgins, Michael Pittman. Like it's gonna be like a 2-3 year deal. Like, a lot of money, but like,
you're right.
It's like, but like, man, like he's so good. Like Mike Evans on this offense would be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Crenshaw thinks he takes away from Tank. I don't. I think it'd be like
I think he opens it up for Tank because you're gonna double team Mike Evans.
Yeah. Who are you
gonna double team Evans or Collins? So it's gonna open up for Tank.
Or double team Tank and it's gonna open. I'm like, it's a 3-way monster, bro. Like,
and then the way Bobby, well, if Bobby's still there, his offense sometimes there's only 2 receivers on the field at a time. So hey, maybe they can rotate. I don't care who get in. Just stay healthy.
I would like view it this way: is like if they sign a big time wide receiver, then like I think there's a really good chance that you're gonna have Brevin Jordan and then like a specific like blocking tight end on the team. So it's like all the targets that were going towards Schultz and Noah Brown and Robert Woods would then like go like be dispersed between Tank Dell, Mike Evans, and Nico Collins.
I agree.
Like
that's why
it
get
works.
the ball to Schultz in them. I agree.
Yeah.
It would be like the Broncos when they had Eric Decker,
Demarius Thomas,
Walker, Demarius Thomas. Like who Thomas. Emmanuel Sanders. Like,
who are you
gonna get beat by? Like, who are you gonna get beat by today? Right. Like, I mean, in Arizona with Larry Fitz and Bolden, like, bro, I would take that any day of the week, man. So, boy, guys, before we end the show, there's a fan favorite where we get to ask Mr. Joe George some questions. Bo, I'll start with you. You got a question for Mr. Joe?
Let me see. What made you decide to get into radio? Like, was it something you always wanted to do, or was it just like a last second thing, or did you see someone talk to you about it, or how did that happen?
All right, so I remember my dad. He's an English teacher and like a theater director. So like when I was in high school, I did like plays and musicals and stuff, but then played football as well. But like I remember like my dad, they did an open audition for the public address announcer for the Cubs. I remember my dad doing that, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then they're like, when I went to college and I was like, didn't really know what I want to do with my life. And I was like, man, I listen to the radio all the time. Like, the score in Chicago is like was literally started the day before I was born. Okay. So like it's just like I like grew up on sports radio like as it was like peaking, I think in Chicago. So I was just like I think this is what I want to do. And like I was going to school to be like a teacher. And then it was like, this is stupid. I was like, this is too much work. I was like, I'm gonna do radio. Honestly, like, I did it because I was like, I'm gonna dick around in college. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, I was like, whatever. Like, I'm gonna get a degree, and then like I did it, and I fell in love with it. So it's like a combination of like public speaking and like sports that I loved, and then just like kind of stumbled my way into it. Honestly.
So you're born and raised in Chicago?
Yeah. I lived in Chicago until I was 23. So So I moved to Houston in 2015.
Okay.
For like my first my first radio job was in 2014 at WGN there. They used to be like the home of the Cubs, and the Blackhawks. Like that's where I started. And like right after I graduated, I got an offer to move to Houston like March of 2015. Okay. So I've been down here for like 9 years, like April 1st.
Okay. Yeah. So my last question is, I know you probably get this all the time, but I've heard mixed reviews. People say yes, people say no. But as a native Chicago pizza.
All right.
Yes, no, thumbs up, thumbs down, Chicago style. What you got?
Chicago deep dish, thumbs down.
See, that's that. Yep, that's how I know you're native. That's
because it's
like y'all say that.
It's tourist pizza. It's tourist pizza, and it's like celebration pizza. So it's like we would get deep dish like when I graduated high school, or like when like it was a birthday party or something like that. Like The real Chicago pizza is super thin. It's called like tavern style. So it's like it's super thin, cut into squares. That's like real true Chicago pizza.
Got you. Okay.
I mean, I still like deep dish and but I don't miss it. Like I don't when I go back home to like see my friends, like I don't go get deep dish pizza because I'm not waiting 45 minutes for a pizza. Like it's not for me anymore.
That was all my questions. What you got?
Yeah.
Well, since speaking of AJ Brown being a diva, our diva Crenshaw, since he couldn't make it, he has a question. Which is better, Garrett's or Double Good popcorn? He said his is Double Good because it's good.
Okay. I still lean Garrett's, but part of that's because the only time I get it is in the airport. They have it at both airports in Chicago. So I always get it on my flight home. It's the only one I don't get it like when I'm like walking around the city and stuff. But like when I'm like coming back home, I always get Garrett's. Like I love Garrett's. It's so good. Honestly, you can't go wrong. Like it's so stupid that like it's so funny that's a question because like it is like a real debate. But like I like Garrett's more.
Okay. Well, you like you said, you are a true Chicagoan at heart, and then you kind of adopted the Houstonian life. Yeah. So let me ask you, man, which one has the richer culture? Is it Chicago or is it Houston?
Oh man, this is a good question. Man, because they're so different.
Yeah.
Because
and they're both great in their own ways, right?
Yeah, they're both incredible. Because in Chicago, like you have like these like kind of like it's not the best word to use, but like it's the reality, like kind of like segregated neighborhoods. Like you have like this like you have this like Polish neighborhood and then this Irish neighborhood. You have Little Italy, and then you have down like there's I can't remember, it's something there's like this Asian neighborhood. So like they're very like secluded, diverse, segregated. Like within the city and like all different like parts of it. So like it's kind of cool where like you can really like visit like a culture like in any way. But Houston, it's like you have like this mix of like people from Houston, New Orleans, and like and then Tex-Mex and all this different stuff. That's a good question. I'm gonna say, man, I love Houston. Like I've had opportunities to move back to the Midwest. My wife is from here. We have my son's about to turn 3 in March. Like unless someone offers me a shitload of money, like we're never leaving Houston. So like because I'm never leaving, like my plan is to live in Houston for the rest of my life. I love it down here. So like I guess my answer is Houston, honestly.
And no snow, right? Can't beat that, right?
Man, yes, no snow, but like this bullshit we were dealing with the last 2 weeks sucks. I left Chicago for that stuff. Like it's not supposed to be this cold.
Yeah. Okay. I did have one more question before you go.
Yeah, for sure.
One more question. Cubs or White Sox?
Oh, Cubs.
Okay.
Cubs all day.
Okay.
All right. So here's another one: Cubs or the Astros? making you choose.
All right. Okay. If the Cubs and the Astros, like in 2018, I was convinced. I was like, the Cubs and the Astros, the Cubs won in 2016, the Astros in 17. I was like, we're going to get Cubs-Astros World Series. If the Cubs or the Bears play the Texans or the Astros, I would always root for the Chicago teams. Like, I am like, I love the Texans. I love the Astros. The Astros were like the team I adopted first, and like the Texans have like. I'm the definition of bandwagon fan. Like there's no, I don't hide it. It's who I am. Like I've been in Houston for 9 years. Like I'm a bandwagon fan, but like I'll always choose the hometown team. Like always. Yeah. Like you can't not. Like
there's no hate for that, bro.
Like when the Bears come here, the Bears are playing in Houston next year. Like I'm gonna be at NRG at a Caleb Williams jersey. I think. We'll see. But maybe it's just I still have a Justin Fields jersey, so like maybe I'll wear that one. I don't know what I'll be wearing, but I'll still root for the Bears that one game. But I've got lucky. Like it's like my favorite part about this move for me as being a fan is like it was easy. It was easy to be a fan of both of all these teams because, like, the Rockets and the Bulls, like the heyday was the '90s. It's been middling since. You know, it's like Derrick Rose and James Harden like can't win it. The Texans and the Bears, great defense, shit quarterbacks. Like it's like they're the same franchise. And then the Cubs and the Astros were like both these teams tanked out at the bottom and then won World Series. The Astros just won more.
And every other fan base hates both teams. Like everybody hates the Cubs, everybody hates the Astros. Like
so like it's like it's just like really with the Texans and the Bears specifically, it's like the until this year for CJ Stroud and a little part of Deshaun, it's always been like great defense, bad quarterback. So like I get Texans fans. I've lived it my whole life.
Right. You know it. I don't own a lot of jerseys that are not Houston Texans, but I do own the Chicago Bears jersey. Can you guess what jersey I got?
Can I get like an era?
2000s. Defense.
Yeah, defense. I think I know.
What is it, Bo?
It's got to be Urlacher, right?
Nope.
That's what?
Urlacher? One number up.
Oh, Briggs.
Yeah, my last name's Briggs. Baby.
Briggs.
I got to represent. You know,
I should have known. Yeah, I should have known. Briggs. You're right.
I had to represent.
You're right.
I try not to tell people from Houston that I had an Eddie George jersey because my last name is George. I pretend like that didn't happen so they don't hate me.
Bro, look, like that's the reason why I hate the Titans so much, is because I remember being a fan of the Oilers when they drafted Steve McNair, when they drafted Eddie George. Like, ooh, man, we're gonna be good, and then these motherfuckers leave and they go to the Super Bowl. Like,
Lola B. Hall, be out of here.
Yeah. So, Joe, before we leave, I got to ask this question because one's from Crenshaw, but two is just it's funny. Who you got, R. Kelly or Beyonce?
Oh my goodness. What?
Like,
what?
Crenshaw, what kind of question is this? Like, first of all, like you could take out the bad shit with R. Kelly. Like the answer is Beyonce. Like, I mean, like before R. Kelly was a terrible person, like he had some bangers, but like Beyonce's got way more.
Yeah, it's Queen Bee for a reason, right?
Exactly.
And she's from the greatest city of all time. So, yeah, no doubt about that. All right, Joe, why don't you tell us where we can find you and what you got cooking, so that way we can support you, man.
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter, X, whatever, at JoeGeorgeRadio. I am the host of the Bullpen from 6 to 7, ESPN 97.5, Monday through Friday. Then I produce the Killer Bees the 3 hours before that from 3 to 6. So I'm usually on 97.5 and 92.5 from 3 to 7 in some capacity, pretty much 5 days a week. So you can always catch me there.
All right. And Bo, where we can find you at?
Oh, you can find me on all socials at Bo Diggity713. Thank y'all. And
then you can find our Diva co-host, Crenshaw, at Fitford Crenshaw. He wants to ask all these crazy questions but not be here. And then you can find me at A1 Day One Texans, and got a couple articles coming on the Fan Battle Network, especially about this amazing season for the Texans. And you can find the show everywhere at Texans Fan Battle. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and support us. Guys, till next week, have a good week. Joe, again, thank you for coming on, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, Tom.
Thank you.
We are out.
They had a Pro Bowl for talk shows. We get selected.